We are Robin Kromhout, Michiel Aerts, Michelle Robbe, Ilse Toners, Melvin Muisert and Joella Visser from Group 7, and in our knowledge clip we are going to talk about Schiphol Airport. The topics we are going to discuss are managing facilities, capacity management, supply chain management, service management, quality management, and at the end there will be a conclusion. Managing facilities. Schiphol is a huge airport or hub with a big amount of facilities and hundreds of operations. Such a big airport requires enormous amounts of space in order to allocate all of their huge facilities, like the vast parking lots, hangars, airstrip and the hub itself, along with all the office buildings related to these facilities. Schiphol is located in the town of Haarlemmermeer. This location is specifically chosen because of the good road and rail access, which is essential for ensuring the connectivity of the airport. Another reason is that the airport generates a lot of noise and air pollution. That is why the airport isn't, for example, in the middle of Amsterdam. Government policies for air travel are very strict, and in Haarlemmermeer the effects of air travel are minimal. The site itself is internally a layout of cells which each have different responsibilities. These consist, for example, of booking flights, parking, customs, shops and restaurants, and finally checking in. A traveler passes all these cells in order to obtain a comfortable, pleasant and most important, a safe travel. Along all the core processes, Schiphol has a very big servicescape that is keen on providing an experience that is incomparable with most airports. Schiphol tailors the range of facilities and real estate to demand and aims to continue developing Schiphol into a cargo distribution hub. They invest in a high-quality range of commercial products, all in order to satisfy customers and establish the brand of Schiphol Airport.
Capacity is the maximum possible output in a given time. Schiphol has to know beforehand the expected demand of any given day to ensure that they will have sufficient staff and facilities to fulfill the demand. Capacity management on Schiphol is extremely important because they have to handle all the passengers who are continuously coming in from other parts of the world or leaving with a plane to their destination. Matching the demand in services on the airport is challenging because services are simultaneity and Schiphol has an inflexible infrastructure. Firstly, the airport has to deal with simultaneity, which means services are consumed right after they are produced. For example, in the cafeterias and restaurants on the airport. But also the services at customs is immediately used by the user. Furthermore, Schiphol has an inflexible infrastructure. The capacity is fixed because of the enormous building and the airstrips available. Schiphol knows on forehand the number of booked flights, so they can easily anticipate on the number of reservations made. Furthermore, Schiphol has to take in account unexpected passengers who book last-minute flights or the family and friends who come with passengers who are leaving to another country. Schiphol has to forecast the predicted number of people on the airport to have enough resources open and available. A qualitative approach used at Schiphol to forecast the expected demand are scenario planners. Scenario planners will look at all different scenarios such as more demand than expected. What has to happen when this scenario takes place? Schiphol has to gauge the planning and think what they can do to prevent possible wrong forecasts. With that said, Schiphol deals with the demand management strategy. Schiphol has to handle demand so that inputs and outputs are closely matched. Schiphol has to think about the maximum capacity where the airport can operate in and how much it is as efficient as possible. What is the maximum of cars on long terms or short terms? How many people can go through customs in a short period of time? And how many restaurants and shops have to be open for the coming and leaving passengers? And how many flights can depart and arrive? Moreover, Schiphol do not have to deal with the maximum capacity. The utilization is the part of the maximum designed capacity, which is achieved in the operations of one day. Supply chain management is a regulation process between all suppliers, manufacturers, materials, flow of stock, involved information and staff. Basically, all that had to do with supplying the places that need to be supplied. There are 3 different kinds of supply on Schiphol Airport that needs to be monitored and managed. First being the supply of passengers, which is part of the core business of Schiphol Airport. Second, being the flow of goods and supplies which are necessary for the generation of revenue of airlines, food and beverage establishment and resale stores. And last is the supply of information, which is important for all parties. Supply management at an airport with passengers is a precise process because of the crucial balance between speed, security and crowd control. Passengers do not agree with long waiting time, but there can be made no concessions with security checks. Also, when a bottleneck presents itself, it is important to act on that at once. For instance, when a security line is excessively long, additional security gates must be able to open. Also, when due to weather, a large percentage of the flights are being delayed or cancelled, there have to be sufficient facilities where stranded people can wait out their time. This is more than just having the facilities, but also providing restaurants, bars and the airport hotel with the information so they can react to certain situations. The supply of information is not just an easy tool for vendors to predict a possible increase of people at a bar. It is crucial to the daily operations of any large airport. Integrating a real-time airport operations management system is crucial for an airport like Schiphol. A fully operational system like this allows operations and managers to simplify a large proportion of the day-to-day tasks and make it easy to share real-time information with stakeholders. With a system like this, it is possible to implement key performance indicators and have the system advise on possible scenarios to solve the highlighted issues. The last category of the Schiphol supply chain management is the supply of goods, which can be a real issue when dealing with a 24-hour-a-day crowd control. The biggest problem is supplying stores, bars and other retail establishments, while 7,000 passengers running around every hour. A possible solution could be using a part of the arrivals floor after rearranging it. Make it in a way that passengers do not have a view on the supply route, but make it so that the route has access to all the shops on the floor above. This is possible because most of the space below gates C till F is not accessible for passengers.
Service management within Schiphol Airport. Service, according to Cambridge Dictionary, is a government system or private organization that is responsible for a particular type of activity or for providing a particular thing that people need. Service management consists of different service encounters. This is the interaction between the customers and the service provider. In CPOs, this can be very challenging. A service encounters within an airport can be within different departments and already starts with an online check-in from home. There will be more encounters while the process follows. A successful encounter will be influenced by staff attitude, requirement and selection of suitable employees, appropriate induction and training of employees, empowering frontline workers, systems for optimizing the service encounter, monitoring service encounter performance, communication effectiveness, and control and efficiency of the service encounter. A service failure is always possible due to the inherent variability of services. Service failures within an airport can be caused by new employees, because when looking at new employees that don't know the airport yet, they need guidance and training, and when not good provided, there will be a service failure. Technological breakdown is when thinking of when the check-in does not work or plane delays, and first-time customers that are the customers who do not understand the route or the signs or are not familiar with the process. But partly negative service experience can lead to very positive service experience. By this we mean a service recovery. This is the action taken in response to a service failure with the aim of restoring customer confidence and satisfaction. It is even more important after making a mistake how to solve the problem, as you can see in the recovery paradoxon. Six Sigma is implemented by Schiphol as a toolbox, and that is why it can be easily used for different types of projects. The project leaders are the so-called black belts, but they are not the only one involved in the projects. All employees are actively concerned with the chasing processes. When doing these projects and making use of the Six Sigma toolbox, it needs to be visible that improvements are made to have a positive result, which means that it will cost less time and less effort. Measuring the optimized processes are done by implemented management control and reporting systems. Via KPIs, different levels are discussed so the primary focus, which is what it will bring the customer, are taken in consideration, because satisfied customers lead to higher revenues and profits. To improve speed, lean management is implemented within the Schiphol group as a completion of Six Sigma. The focus during the lean projects is the same as Six Sigma, wants and needs of the customers. Lean is mostly focused on increasing speed, shorten waiting time and reduce waste. Together they create Lean Sigma, in which Lean accelerates Six Sigma. In this way, solving problems and improving processes is faster and more efficient. Schiphol's ambition is to maintain and develop its position as a multimodal hub. To achieve this, Schiphol Group must be successful across the board. The passengers are the core business and vital for the existence and success of Schiphol Airport. They rate Schiphol highly and choose the airport as their preferred point of departure or transfer. The facilities, location and position of Schiphol makes the airport a brand on its own. Schiphol could only achieve this goal by developing and implementing the different business models like demand management, Six Sigma Lean, service recovery and supply chain management. By gaining beneficial experience and looking into business model, Schiphol enables itself to become the multimodal hub.